Morning everybody, how are y'all doing today? I'm doing great myself because JayTech has once again blessed us with another video in which he goes into a retail store and tries to use whatever store he's going into to prove that Xbox is dead and has no games. You guys may remember if you saw my video I posted like, 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point, where he went into Walmart and he basically said that because Xbox doesn't have like a little kiosk section, which is where, you know, they have a little demo set up with the console hooked up. You can try out a game or two, whatever. Apparently that means that Xbox has no games and Xbox is completely dead. And when that video didn't work out too well for him, he decided to take it to GameStop instead. Which, honestly, I'm amazed he was even able to take it to GameStop because I'm surprised that place is still open. But anyway, let's go ahead and see how, by the title of his own video, GameStop is saying that Xbox has no games. And then we're going to take a look at one comment he replied to afterwards, mainly because this video that we're responding to is only like 2.5 minutes long. But yeah, anyway, let's get into it.
For the last 3 years, I've been seeing stores set up like this. They would have the Nintendo section and they would have the PlayStation section. But then when it came to the Xbox section, it would be much smaller than Nintendo or PlayStation section.
Well, I fail to see what this has to do with anything. The amount of space a gaming company takes up at a store as irrelevant as GameStop probably doesn't mean anything in the long run. Because GameStop has almost been bankrupt for what, 2 years now? Something like that, maybe even longer. And also, I'd just like to point out, at no point in this video does he show the size comparison between the PlayStation and the Xbox sections. But from the very zoomed in footage we do get, you guys will see in a little bit, it actually does look like they're about the same size. Xbox takes up a whole wall, and then PlayStation takes up a little bit of a wall, and then it loops around a corner. Both places are selling accessories like headphones and controllers. They're selling games. They got posters up with release dates for big video games and stuff. So I don't know where this whole thing that, oh, they're completely different sizes is coming from, but you guys will see that here in a second.
And now, over the last 2 years, since the pandemic got started, I've been seeing Xbox sections not having a kiosk. And what a kiosk is a station where you're going to see a TV screen and a console or a game system hooked up with probably 1 or 2 controllers. And you're going to be able to demo some of the games that the companies have, whether it's Nintendo showing off Smash Brothers, or PlayStation showing off, I don't know, Uncharted 4.
I mean, I doubt they'd be showing off Uncharted 4. That game is rated mature, and, you know, GameStop doesn't have a rating on it. It's for people of all ages. So they would probably be showing off, like, Sackboy or something like that, something much more kid-friendly. But whatever, that doesn't matter. And neither does the fact that Microsoft doesn't have a kiosk set up. I fail to see what this proves. I mean, the title of this video was GameStop says Xbox has no games, but I fail to see how a lack of a kiosk is proving that, especially at a store like GameStop. I can't remember the last time I was in one of those, but let's go ahead and hear more about this.
But Xbox, do they have games? They have Forza, they have Halo, they have Gears, but a lot of those games do require you to be online to use. And maybe that's why they opted not to do the kiosk, because they have so many games that have DRM.
Well, there's 2 things wrong with that statement. One, I'm pretty sure GameStops have internet. Not entirely sure if they do. Again, it's been a while since I've been in one, but I would assume they do. But the bigger problem there is you mentioned Forza, which is probably the game they would choose to show off. I know last time I went to a Microsoft store and I went to the Xbox section, they were showing off Forza using the PCs and Xboxes. But Forza does not require you to be online. You only have to be online when you initially start the game. So even if there wasn't internet at the GameStop, that wouldn't be an issue. Yeah, Microsoft has bad DRM, but it's not as bad as you're making it seem.
However, I continue to see this, and what this means to me is that Xbox has no faith, and they know that it doesn't matter if they have no faith in their product, because their fanboys have faith. And when I see stuff like this that is not being talked about in the Xbox gaming community, it bothers me.
So if Xbox has absolutely no faith in their product whatsoever, why do they keep investing so much into it? If they have no faith, why is it still going? If a company doesn't have faith in a product, they'd shut it down. But I mean, that's clearly not the case. Forza Horizon 5 was the best Xbox first-party launch ever. And that was what, like only a year ago or something? And yeah, this last year has been pretty rough. But that doesn't mean they've lost all faith. And don't worry, we'll talk about this last year being pretty rough in a second.
This is why I'm going to be doing a rant. I'm going to do my rant next week. I will give you guys the details, but I'm planning on doing a rant. It needs to be done specifically about the Xbox community. They allow so many things to go underneath their noses, it's not even funny.
And you PlayStation fanboys don't? Are you kidding me? Anytime Sony does something stupid or they say something bad, you guys go silent about it. And if you do talk about it, you spin it in a positive way for them. But genuinely, I am looking forward to that rant video. I cannot wait to see how that is going to turn out.
They have no games this year, but for some reason, they're bitching about how many awards God of War is getting. If you guys had great games, you would get great awards. But you don't have anything. I think a lot of the Xbox fans need to just sit down, shut up, and wait until E3.
I don't think anybody is complaining about how many awards God of War is getting. If they are, please link them in the comments because I'd love to talk about them. And I don't think many people really care if Xbox games do get awards. I think all they care about is if they enjoy the game or not. You know, that's kind of the whole point of video games is if you enjoy it, then good, play it and enjoy it. It doesn't really matter what other people think of it, or at least it shouldn't for you. And you shouldn't enjoy a game less because other people dislike a game. I enjoy Call of Duty even though it gets a ton of crap every single year. But now let's go ahead and take a look at that comment that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. So this guy commented saying, so honest legitimate question, what does stores that sell Xbox games not having a kiosk matter? Not having an Xbox kiosk at stores doesn't mean anything. Also, I fail to understand why exclusives are the end-all be-all reason to buy a console when there are plenty of other reasons people buy the consoles they buy. And all JayTech said was thank you for missing the point. And then laughing face 100 and thumbs up. I mean, of course there was no point to this video, so instead of just saying there wasn't a point to be made, he just says that we were missing the point. But JayTech, if we're missing the point, then what is it? Is it that GameStop is proving that Xbox has nothing? Good God. But before we end the video, I just wanted to talk about something real quick. And that, of course, is what I mentioned earlier about the no first-party games this year. I saw Griffin made a video about it, and I felt like I wanted to talk about it just for a minute. I figured since this video was going to be so short, might as well shoehorn it in here at the end. Yeah, honestly, it does suck that there haven't been first-party games this year. Obviously, there was supposed to be Starfield, and then, you know, that didn't happen. And even Phil Spencer has acknowledged this. I'll put a screenshot up right now. And I'm not going to read the whole thing out, but basically, it's Phil Spencer acknowledging that it's been too long since there's been a major first-party Xbox release. And I definitely agree. And I also really quickly just wanted to acknowledge a bit of hypocrisy on my part, where a few months ago, I don't remember how long ago it was, but basically I made a video talking about Lucas's video where he was basically laughing that Starfield was delayed and celebrating that. And basically laughing because Xbox players weren't going to be able to play that this year. And in that video, I said that I didn't think it mattered that Microsoft wasn't releasing any first-party games. I just like to formally say right here, I retract that statement. That was just copium on my part. And I think I was too much in the mind of like, oh, well, it doesn't matter if they don't have any exclusive games because, you know, people will still buy the console anyway. Obviously, it sucks that there's no games coming out this year, but it looks like, I think Phil Spencer said, what, 5 major releases are coming in the next year or so? So hopefully they actually deliver on that, because honestly, I don't think we can take any more Starfield delays, or any more game delays in general. Hopefully this year was just the odd one out for Microsoft, and hopefully they'll start to do a lot more with Bethesda and Activision moving forward, because as Griffin Gaming pointed out, these games that they're releasing would have existed without them. Starfield would have existed without Microsoft backing Bethesda, so it'll definitely be interesting to see what they can do now that they've acquired Bethesda. But yeah, I felt like I would just throw that in at the end. Again, pretty short video, so why not? But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will catch you all next time.